Good evening, everyone, and we are back here at the Royal Lancaster in London. We were here last night, and we had a fabulous night of boxing. We really, really did. And let's hope we continue today, or tonight, should I say. We've got 3 bouts for you to watch this evening. This is the first one, which is a lightweight competition over 4 rounds. And Christian Laight, who's just entered the ring, he's age 32, he had 148 fights. So the man has been around the block a few times, and coming into the ring, James Friers. James is on his debut here this evening. So let's see how he fares. But here we go. This is the first of this evening. And after that, we've got a middleweight competition, and culminating tonight in an international masters light heavyweight competition over 10 rounds. So Christian Laight, he's fighting out the blue corner tonight.
Introducing in the blue corner, wearing the light and blue trunks. He fights out of 9, weighing in at 10 stone and half a pound.
And believe it or not, out of 148 fights, he's only won 7. He's had 6 draws. He's lost 135.
Across the ring in the red corner, wearing the light blue and white. Coming from Belfast, weighing in at 9.
But he's only been stopped 4 times in that 135 losses. So obviously a durable man, knows what he's doing, knows his way around the ring. Now James Friers, as I say, on his debut this evening. He's only age 20. He's across from Belfast in Ireland.
And this is 4 3-minute rounds.
Well, they have similar colour trunks on, as you can see. But I think the Roman gladiator style ones are being worn by James Friers. So, here we go. Big night for him. His first professional fight. Let's see what he has to offer here against Christian Laight. Laight boxing southpaw. He swapped to orthodox. The first big shots coming in from Friers. Certainly Friers looking very controlled. Good high defence. He's not wasting anything. And good powerful shots going into the body. Good work coming from Friers. He's very accurate with these body shots. Pick well, left, right. Not a whole lot coming back from Laight at this moment, but he's covering up well. He's changing his stance from orthodox to southpaw Laight. Try and confuse Friers. A good test for him this opening round. And he's doing very well. Works very well to the body, Friers. Getting under the elbows of Laight, finding the ribs. Well, there you go. That's the end of the first professional round of boxing for James Friers, and I'm sure his corner are very happy with that. He did a good job out there. A lot of work. Picked his shots well. Very accurate. He really didn't waste much. So I'm sure he's very happy with that opening round. And I'm sure they'll be asking for a bit more of the same in his corner. And as I've said before, I think it's a good job we've got boxers like Laight around, who are great for these new upcoming boxers. A lot of experience. Laight, having had 148 fights. Not a great win record, but nevertheless durable. And he's always there, and he's got a gum shield, will travel. So here we go, round 2 of 4. Good to see Friers maintaining that concentration, keeping his hands nice and high. Laight digging in with some jabs there, but with not much effect. And as I said, in all these fights, having only ever been stopped 4 times, then we know he's durable. Well, finding his way in, Friers, all the scoring shots certainly coming from him. And he certainly does work very well to the body. He finds those openings and he takes them and he scores his shots. And a good work rate as well from him. Really getting through with all these punches. And Laight really doesn't have much of an answer to it at the moment. Well, still holding the centre of the ring, Friers. So he's the one that's actually been forcing the pace throughout this. And it has been a good pace. Plenty of work and accurate work. But again, I'm sure they're very happy with that performance for round 2.
Gentlemen, I'm sure you'd like to join me in thanking Paul Baxendale Walker for supplying tonight's round goals. Paul Baxendale Walker of Loaded Magazine. Thank you very much indeed.
2 more rounds then. And I think James Friers is enjoying his debut. Certainly a great crowd here. We were here last night, as I said, and here again tonight. Full house yet again. A very good atmosphere. Great place to start your professional career. Let's see if he maintains this. Laight switch hitting again, going from orthodox to southpaw, back to orthodox. But not really having any effect on the quality of the work coming from Frier. And I have to say, he really does pick these body shots very nicely. Moves down, finds the gap, and he scores every time. But it really is all one-way traffic. And I said Frier out of Belfast, and his opening debut here in London by the Royal Lancaster. So far, a great start for him. Well, no let up in pace from Friers. He's still punching fast and hard. Shots. There we go, end of round 3. And as I said, all one-way traffic. And all in favour of Frier so far. So he doesn't have to take any risks whatsoever in this last round. He's bagged the first 3. More of the same will be absolutely fine for this last round. And the only way Kristain Laight at this point would get a decision is by way of stoppage. And on the evidence so far, I don't think that's coming. And I'm sure that both James and his cornerman will be very happy with tonight's performance. No at all. So here we go. Well, a smile coming in there from Laight. I think he recognises the good work coming from his opponent, James Friers. And I'm sure James Friers will be delighted with this performance tonight as his opener. Well, bobbing and weaving, still looking for the gaps. And certainly not easing off of the gas pedal, that's for sure. He's determined to see this through right to the end, as James Friers. Coming to the end of the round now. And very hard to criticise that performance in any way whatsoever. I think tremendous job by James Friers on his debut, really was. And as I said, I'm sure he and his corner are absolutely delighted. He won every round without question. As I'm sure that will be announced in just 1 second. So we've got middleweight up next. And coming into the ring, we're going to have Alfredo Melly, known as Fredo, age 22, also from Belfast, and he's southpaw. Now, he's actually only had 2 fights, but he's won both of them, and he's won both of them by way of KO. So this is the perfect opportunity to get his first 3, all by stoppage. I'm sure that's what he'll have in the back of his mind. He's up against Danny Brown. Now, Danny Brown is age 36, and he's out of Essex. And he's also a southpaw, so they're going to cancel each other out in this instance. He's had 13, he's won 3, lost 2, and he's drawn the 1. But he started very late as a professional, did Danny Brown. As I said, he's now 36, but only had his first professional fight just a year ago, a year and 1 week to be exact. So I don't know what his aspirations are as a boxer, but he'll need to get his skates on at 36, certainly in the middleweight division. So very interesting to see a man like Danny Brown at age 36 starting in the professional ranks. Interesting to see how he deals with the young Alfredo Melly. As I said, only age 22, and both of his wins coming by way of KO. So he's going to be full of confidence. Let's see what he has to offer. Well, I'm sure they'll be in the ring in just a minute or so. And as I said, it's going to be a middleweight action over 4 rounds. Alfredo Melly against Danny Brown. And then after that, we're going to have an international masters light heavyweight over 10 rounds. Cello Renda against Kiroll Psonko, known as the Pitbull from Lithuania. So I'm pretty sure we've got a tough one there at the end of the evening. But as I said, coming up, middleweight, Alfredo Melly against Danny Brown. Again, Alfredo Melly out from Belfast in Ireland. Danny Brown, Wickford in Essex, both southpaws. Well, here we go. So this is the homeboy, Danny Brown, as I said, age 36. Only starting as a professional 1 year and 1 week ago. And I'm sure he's not here to make the numbers up, but certainly a late start in a professional career. And he's up against Alfredo Melly with 2 out of 2 and both KOs. So he's it's going to be an interesting matchup, this, it really is. Well, once the smoke clears, I'm sure we'll have a match underway.
Introducing firstly in the blue corner, wearing the dark blue trunks, tripped with white. He fights out of Wickford and weighing in at 11 stone, 8-pounder. You've been welcome to Danny Brown. And in the corner across the ring in the ring corner, wearing the light blue trunks, tripped with dark blue. Weighed in at 11 stone, 5 pounds, 6 ounces. Hail from Belfast, ladies and gentlemen, Alfredo Melly.
Well, as I said, he's Alfredo Melly knocked both of his first 2 opponents out. I'm sure he's brimming with confidence here. Interested to see how he performs this evening. Again, over 4 rounds, this in the middleweight division. So here we go, round 1. Well, Melly straight into the attack. He's got his man up against the ropes in the corner. Brown tucking up, bobbing and weaving. Slipped a few, but getting caught by a few. And obviously Melly's in there, meaning business, as he always seems to do when he gets in between these ropes and into the ring. Well, toe-to-toe stuff here. And the pace certainly being forced here by Alfredo Melly. And he's really not letting up this attack. He doesn't blow himself out in the first round. Certainly Brown covering up, but how much of this he can take remains to be seen. An unusual stance by Brown. He's tucking up, bobbing and weaving, but he is getting caught by these punches. And certainly Melly not allowing Brown to get into any form of stride here whatsoever. He's on top of him and he won't leave off. He really needs to get those hands up tighter, does Brown. He's getting through with a lot of punches here. Brown comes fighting back at that moment. You've got to give something back. It's just going to be interesting to see whether Melly can maintain this sort of pace. He's really putting a huge effort into this first round. I don't think there's any doubt about where the what the scorecard will show there. Melly is breathing quite hard at the moment in his corner, but I mean he's put a huge effort in that first round. It'll be interesting to see, as I said, whether he can maintain that sort of pace. I think that will be asking a lot of him to do that. And we've got to see whether Brown can pull himself through this onslaught and actually try and take some sort of control, because so far it's all been one way, and that's Alfredo Melly. He's not rushing in quite as much this round, Melly. Well, he was caught there with a punch, but he had his back to me, so I didn't see exactly where that punch came from. And let's see what Melly does here. Is he going to rush in? All guns blazing. And I'm sure the ref will be looking closely at this. Holding his right hand ever so low, Brown. He needs to tighten up on that defence, especially with someone like Melly in front of him. But really letting fly now with some of these punches. But Brown has recovered. Brown pushing out the jab, but really not much in it. He's got a handful in front of him. Comes back with some good shots. Melly standing back now, bringing Brown forward to the centre of the ring. Well, a good shot through the guard there of Brown from Melly. Really good shot. It's hard to know whether Brown's going to get through the next two rounds, I have to say. And you can see that Brown's making an attempt to fire back, but really he's not got a lot to offer against Melly. And there's not a lot behind those punches either. I'm sure the punches have taken their toll from Brown over the first round and so far in the second round. Well, that was a 10-8 round for Alfredo Melly, and he's certainly on route to another win here at the moment. I really cannot see. It's going to need a miracle here, and the shake of the head in the corner there by Danny Brown. I think he knows he's got his hands full with Alfredo Melly. And as I said, it's been quite a pace set from the beginning by Alfredo Melly, and really Brown is struggling to get in any rhythm at all.
Corners, 10 seconds.
He just hasn't allowed him. So he's got his work cut out here, Brown. I'm interested to see whether he can get through these next two rounds. If the onslaught stays the same from Melly, I have my doubts, but it remains to be seen. He's dropping his hands a little bit, Melly, but I suppose he's growing in confidence. He knows there's not a lot coming back from Brown, but still dangerous to do exactly that. He's tightened back up now. And certainly when Melly gets him up against the ropes, he really punishes him. I have to say the quality work still coming from Melly at this point. He just hasn't let Brown get into his stride at all. It's a better effort coming from Brown with the jab. But again, he's been closed up to the ropes. Well, certainly Brown obviously proving a bit more resilient than the first two opponents of Melly. He's still there. And I was beginning to think he might be struggling to get much further than the second round. Again, clear round for Melly. So as long as there's no big mistakes from Alfredo Melly, he can coast through this final round, or possibly he'll look to try and finish. And I'm sure Danny Brown will be hanging in there and want to get through these 4 rounds. He needs a stoppage if he's going to get a decision over Melly, and I really cannot see that.
Corners, 10 seconds.
So here we go, 4th and final round.
Seconds out. 4th and final round.
Melly's still sharp with these shots, still looking to impose himself. Really not giving Brown any chance of getting into this fight whatsoever. Well, he's still there, is Danny Brown. Fair play to him. He was down in the second, and he's come through. And he's certainly given Melly a workout. I'm sure Melly will be a little bit disappointed that he hasn't finished this fight earlier, as his first 2 were on stoppages. And he must have thought he was close there in the second round. Oh, and a good left hand there from Melly. While Brown was leaning back. So this is going to go to the scorecard, and I don't think there's any doubt what that'll read. And certainly Danny Brown proving to be durable. And I'm sure Alfredo Melly just a little disappointed he didn't finish that one early. And he had an opportunity, but Danny Brown recovered, got through it. Next up, International Masters Light Heavyweight title over 10 rounds, and that's Cello Renda, Cello Dangerous Renda against Kiroll Psonko, known as the Pitbull. And that's coming up in just a minute.
Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, the referee has scored the contest. Danny Brown 35 points, Alfredo Melly 40 points. The winner, Alfredo Melly. And please carry on,
Well, here we go, main event coming up, and it's the International Masters Light Heavyweight title, and that is over 10 rounds. Well, Cello Renda, Cello Dangerous Renda, age 27. He's from Peterborough, down in London tonight for this title fight. He's had 29 fights. He's won 19 of those, 11 of which have been by KO. He has lost 9 and he's been stopped 5 times as well, with 1 draw. So it's the main event, and I'm sure that Cello Renda is looking to put a title on his record. He actually previously fought and won the British Masters middleweight title in 2007, and he successfully defended that as well. 2008 he fought for the English middleweight title, but was stopped in the 6th by Paul Smith, and he lost in the final of the prize fighter middleweight competition at York Hall 2008. But interesting though, he actually fought and won the eliminator British middleweight title against Sam Horton, but he didn't consequently fight for the title. But he's moved up in weight now as a light heavy. And Kiroll Psonko, the pit bull, age 26, from Lithuania, and we know there's some tough kids from Lithuania. He's had 31, he's won 9, KO'd 6 of those, lost 20. He has been stopped on 8 occasions and he's had 2 draws. Don't know a lot about him, to be honest with you, but I'm sure not to make up just the numbers. And if his nickname, the Pitbull, is anything to go by, then be interested to see what he brings to the ring tonight. He's also stepping up to light heavy. Was that Cello's last fight up in Peterborough. He has a very good following.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the main event of the evening. A contest of 10 3-minute rounds at the International Masters.
And we had a bit of a surprise last night with a Latvian who didn't read the script, and he was here to obviously take home the prize. And that's exactly what he did. So let's see what Psonko has to offer this evening.
Tonight, competing in his 32nd professional contest, please welcome Kiroll Psonko. And across the ring in the red corner, wearing the multicoloured trunks of white, red and green. He hails from Peterborough, weighed in at 11 ounces. 29 assisted 11 points coming out. Losses. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Peterborough's dangerous Cello Renda.
Again, this evening, he's certainly a huge support in Peterborough. Joining us, this is an International Masters Light Heavyweight to fight over Cello Renda. We are live from London. That's a good sharp jab coming in from Renda. Good hand speed as well from Renda. They seem nicely matched, these two. They really do. I think Renda in front at the moment, slightly. A bit sharper. A good left to the body from Renda. Much of the work actually coming from Renda at the moment. Certainly scoring more points there with his jabs. The action so far pretty much centre ring. You have to say Renda's got very good movement, good lateral movement, head movement, sharp with these punches. And a good first round, which I'm going to give to Renda. Certainly the more positive work, sharper work. So I'm sure his cornermen were happy with that opening round. So I'm sure they'll be looking for more of the same from their man in the Renda corner. He just seems that little bit sharper at the moment. He just looks a bit stronger, does Cello Renda. If you're joining us, this is a light heavy weight competition we're looking at now. International Masters over 10 rounds. Cello Renda against Kiroll Psonko. Renda just looks that bit sharper, as I said. shot through the guard there of Renda. Psonko got that one straight right, straight through the middle. He does look relaxed, Psonko, I must say that. Weighing his man up, maybe he's got something there that we don't know about. As I said, the better work, more work, sharper work, all coming in from Cello Renda. Psonko's trying to just pace himself that little bit more. But again, that's end of the second round. That's got to go for Renda.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out, round 3.
Well, interesting to see that Renda can maintain this pace. As I said, it certainly looks to me like Psonko is pacing himself just that little bit more. I don't know if he's got any more to offer as rounds go by. But Renda will build up a lead here. He's won the first two. Psonko constantly on the back foot. Renda picking his shots nicely. He's just been caught again there. There's been a few occasions where Psonko has got through with a few shots. Has caught his man. My view would be this is a slightly closer round. The bigger punches still coming in from Renda, the sharper punches. If Psonko is holding something in reserve here. As I said, don't know him. Certainly the pace all being dictated by Renda. Nice jabs coming in there from Renda. That was a closer round. I think still edged though by Renda, but we will see.
Our girl here is Holly Stock, who is being sponsored by a donation to charity to be our Rampart girl with this round. If anybody else would like to sponsor her for the charity, we'd be very pleased to hear from you. Thank you very much.
So round 4 coming up.
Quarters, 10 seconds.
As far as my scorecard is concerned, first 3 have gone to Renda.
Seconds out.
The last one being a touch closer. Certainly no let up in the pace from Renda. He's still beating Psonko to the punch, but every now and then Psonko getting through with a scoring shot. Still looking sharp, Renda. He's picked the pace back up a little bit, I think, in this round. So possibly his corner noticed he was a bit closer on the last one. Asked him to pick it up a little bit, and he certainly seems to have done that. He just looks that bit sharp, certainly that stronger. These are very, very good sharp jabs coming out from Renda. They really are. Finding the target. Just not a lot behind Psonko's shots. There really is. Very wide stance, Psonko, trying to hold his ground. But he's being pushed to the back foot. I'm impressed with Renda. Really no let up in his pace. He's picked it just back up that little bit again. I'm thinking made it clear that was his round. Last round just a little bit closer. I still gave it to him, but certainly I don't think there's any disputing that round. Well, Psonko's corner really got to pick him up a bit because that was the end of round 4. There's only 6 to go, and Renda's built himself up a nice lead, as far as I'm concerned, that is. Interesting to see, as I said, I don't know whether Psonko has actually got much more to offer at this point. He's being outboxed, speed-wise, power-wise. He's certainly being outboxed by Renda. You wonder whether he's holding something in the tank, and that remains to be seen. But I'm pretty sure if Renda continues at this pace, if he's able to do so, he's cruising to a victory here. It's a good, solid display by Renda, it really is. He's driving his man back into that corner, looking for the openings, Renda. You just feel that if Renda was actually to step on the gas just that little bit more, he might just get Psonko exactly where he needs him. And possibly look for an early finish. Psonko struggling with Renda's speed, snapping out that jab. He's having limited success, Psonko, but it is limited. Renda maintaining his form, keeping nice and tight. Plenty of head movement, lateral movement. Finding his target, snapping out the jab. And again, certainly in my book, that goes to Renda. We're halfway through the fight. All the work's going to have to be done now by Psonko. If he stands any chance whatsoever, he needs to start turning things around from this next round. But I'm not sure he's got an answer to Renda.
Seconds out, round 6.
Well, bit of trouble with the taping there. That was a delay to the start of the round. So the referee stops action until that's resolved. So here we go. Down to the body. Renda, most of his work is upstairs to the head, down to the body. Just not enough in that jab from Psonko. He's not delivering it with any venom. There's a lot more snap from Renda. And they will be the one that are catching the referee's eyes. Well, success with the left hook at last from Psonko. That one landed. No effect though. Again, a good jab there from Renda. Good shots again coming in from Renda. Well, as I said, you just feel if he picked this just up that pace just a little bit more. It's a good pace, but it's a constant pace. He just needs to step it up. Pretty much one-way traffic. And it's all in Renda's favour at the moment. All to do for Psonko. Has he got it in him? Has he got anything left in the tank? Is he going to pull something out the bag? Well, he's got 4 rounds in which to do so, but on the form so far, I cannot see that happening. But then again, this is boxing. Who knows? Anything can happen.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 7.
Big effort there from Renda, acknowledged by Psonko. Went to the body, brought the right hand over the top to the head, connected with both. Again, the jab connecting straight through the guard of Psonko. Chopping right hand. Renda just has that edge, doesn't he? He really does just have that edge over Psonko. whether it's speed, whether it's power. And these are good jabs coming in. In round 7, very sharp still. Just not enough snap in this work from Psonko. And again, the way this is going, it looks like it's going to be a complete lockout by Renda. 3 rounds to go, and I really haven't given a round yet to Psonko. So it's going to have to be something dramatic here from Psonko. He's certainly, in my book, he's behind on points. He hasn't won a round yet. There was one close round. I don't give him any so far. So 3 rounds to go. He's going to need a speech. And I'm sure Renda's got other ideas about that. So here we go, Laight. And those again running loose on Renda. I'm sure the referee's not going to be too happy about that. Time for a breather for Psonko and for Renda. Take advantage of that. Just a bit too one-paced, Psonko. He really hasn't mixed it up much. And he hasn't had an answer to the speed of Renda. Or the power. Leading in with the right there, Renda, bringing the left up underneath. Good jab again from Renda. He's picking the pace up maybe a little bit here. The referee again informing Renda's corner that again is coming around the gloves. He's letting it run for the moment. Not surprising with the perspiration coming off these guys. They've lost a few pounds tonight out there. They've worked hard. It's been a hard pace set by Renda. Good jabs again from Renda. And slightly better round from Psonko, but I'd still see it in favour of Renda at this point. Just hasn't got the snap. Psonko, he really needs to pick it up. So 2 rounds to go. And as I said, Renda cruising here to a victory in this International Masters light heavyweight title.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out. Round 9.
It is limited success, I'm afraid, from Psonko. He's had a couple of shots in, but nothing like the quality or standard or power that Renda's produced this evening. But he's still in there. The pit bull was still in there. Looking still head movement. He has slowed down on that pace. Coach thinks the right hand there. Behind it, Renda. In this round, success there. Psonko has come through with a shot. He's just a bit sharper, Renda. Has been from round 1. This is a slightly better round for Psonko. Just that a little bit closer. Hard one to call. I think it's too late at this stage. But one more round to go.
Corners, 10 seconds. Seconds out. 10th and final round.
Well, here we go. I think unless Psonko pulls something out the bag here, Renda has just cruised to a very comfortable victory to grasp the International Masters Light Heavyweight Championship, and well deserved too. He's throwing across some hopeful right hands at the moment, Psonko, but no effect on Renda. Certainly, if he'd put a bit more effort in on the earlier rounds, may have had a chance of picking up a couple of points here and there. I'm sure when he watches this back, he'll realise exactly that. To the side of Renda head, but no effect. But a better effort coming from Psonko. And as I said, he's left it to the last round, and I think he's just left it too late, it would appear. Renda doesn't have to do anything silly here. He doesn't need to get mixed up. He just needs to box away, because you should be home and dry by a very large margin. And there we are. And I'm sure that Renda knows he's coasted there to victory. And fair play to him, he kept up a tremendous pace throughout that, from round 1 to round 10. Psonko left it really pretty much to the last round. He needed more effort like that on the earlier rounds. It's been a hard night's work for these two boys. We shall get the result in just a second.
Gentlemen, thank you, gentlemen. In 10 rounds, the referee scorecard reads 94 points to 99 points in favour of the winner and the new international
94.
heavyweight champion.
to 99. I had it down 99 to 92.
And appreciated please, Kiroll, Psonko.
For the very well deserved victory, Cello Renda.
Professional Boxers Association representative.
Well, thanks for joining us tonight. This is Seconds Out. My name is Paul Carey, and we've been live from the Royal Lancaster in London. 2 great nights of boxing. Look out on Seconds Out. Find out when we're up for the next live action. And I'm sure it won't be long. So we'll see you then. Thank you and good night.
Gentlemen, that concludes our boxing for this evening. Thank you very much indeed.